My head snapped up and my steps faltered when I heard my name and saw Matthewson standing at Aaron's door. Panic took over, telling me to head back to my room, but he'd already seen me, and it would have been weird if I'd turned around. Instead, I replied, "Hey," and continued walking toward him. I watched as Matthewson turned his head to look at Aaron and questioned with a hook of his thumb toward me. "Baby?" My eyes widened, hearing him use the name Aaron and I called each other. Or used to call each other. I was at a loss for words, not sure what had prompted the term of endearment to be the subject of conversation. Stepping into the hallway, Aaron opened his arms toward me and chuckled. "Honey, you're home." I swallowed, still not able to say anything. When I was within a few feet of them, Aaron slapped Matthewson's arm playfully. "Dude, you should see your face right now. You gave us so much shit when we were living together. Rockland and I started joking around about being the old married couple on the team." Knowing Aaron was being Aaron, I rolled with it and said, "Yeah, the old man and I are going to hang out and grab some food since Parker didn't eat at the hospital. You want to join us?" Aaron's gaze flicked to mine, but for once he said nothing. Matthewson shook his head. "Thanks, but I ate with the guys. I just wanted to check on Parker before heading to bed." He looked between us one more time, a knowing smirk still on his lips. "I'll see you two in the morning." He headed toward the elevators as I followed Aaron into his room and closed the door behind us. He sat on the couch and looked down at his phone. "I still need to order our food. Matthewson stopped by before I could order." "Okay, but first, what the hell just happened?" I gestured toward the hallway. He shrugged his shoulders. "He knocked on the door and I thought it was you. I called you baby by mistake, or who I thought was you." I hated hearing him backtrack on calling me baby because I wanted him to say it intentionally, to know it still meant something to him, that I still meant something to him, and it wasn't because it had become a habit and slipped out. "Oh, well, do you think he's going to say anything to the other guys?" "There's nothing for him to say. Nothing is going on, right?" And the hits kept coming. "You're right," I sighed. "Drew, I didn't mean it like that. I know we have shit to talk about, but it's been a long day. We should have been out celebrating our win. Instead, you've been at the hospital with me for a few hours. I don't know about you, but I really just want to eat and get some sleep."
As I went into the bedroom, I could still feel Drew's lips on mine. Grabbing my phone from the nightstand, I had a text from my father asking if I was awake and that he was coming to my room to check on me before all of us left the hotel. I sent him a reply that I was up, and as I waited for him, I thought about Drew's words. "I would do anything for you, Aaron." I'd closed my eyes briefly. "Come to my place tonight?" I'd asked. Waking in his arms gave me hope we could be together again. We just needed a chance to talk everything out. "I'll be there." And then we kissed, and my heart ached because I didn't want him to leave. He'd told me he cared for me, and he'd do anything for me. But did that mean he would jeopardize the family life he'd always dreamt of to be with me? I was the one to end us, and I'd regretted it ever since. But I was ready to tell him I didn't care if he was going to be a father with his ex. What mattered would be if he wanted to be with me instead of her. Did he want to be with me instead of Jasmine? His actions said yes, but would his sense of duty make him choose her? Lost in my thoughts, a knock rapped on my door and I looked through the peephole before opening the door since I'd learned my lesson from the night before. "Son," Dad greeted. "How's your head?" "Good," I replied, stepping back so he could walk into my room. "Did you get everything square with your flight?" "I did." He closed the door and set his bag down. "Going to the game tomorrow night?" The Giants and Nationals were tied 1 game each and were headed back to San Francisco for 2 games. "Is water wet?" He smirked, using the line I'd gotten from him. "Hopefully the Giants win their series." Dad held up his hands. "I'm Switzerland." Yeah. I handed him the room service menu I'd grabbed from the desk. "Let's get breakfast before we need to leave." We ordered our meals, and while we waited on the couch for it to be delivered, Dad asked, "Did Rockland stay here last night like he said he would?" I stopped looking at social media on my phone and looked over at him. "He did." "That was nice of him, given your history." "Water under the bridge." And then some. Would there ever come a time when no one referred to our history as something horrible? I wanted the entire world to know that 2 people could work past their animosity and become something more. Or were so much more.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.